Anyway,
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Echo Underground. I'm Shanique.
this is Mike.
And on this podcast, we talk about music, movies, TV shows, and any other interesting topics. Today's episode is going to be about the new Marvel Netflix show, The Punisher. And before we start this podcast, I want to let you know that you guys can contact us at Echo U Podcast on Twitter. That's our handle. Or on YouTube, Facebook, iTunes at Echo Underground Podcast. And also, at the end of our last podcast of the year is going to be the week of the 11th. So, December 11th. So, you guys, we want to know, what do you guys think is the best TV show of the year, best movie of the year, and best album of the year? It could be any, it doesn't have to be something we reviewed on the podcast. We just want to know what you guys think about that. And tweet us Echo U Podcast. So I'm gonna get right into what I thought of the Punisher. I thought the Punisher was a solid A. It's one of the first few Marvel actual TV show on Netflix. They didn't bore the shit out of me in the beginning and then got better. It was consistent. I wasn't bored throughout the entire 13 episodes. So that therefore it's probably the best of the series behind Daredevil. No, I think that was still the best of like the whole Marvel universe on Netflix. And very good acting. I liked I like the action sequences. I like the characters. There are people who irritated me, but a lot of them are dead, so yay. Spoiler alert, there will be spoilers as well. So you're pre-warned, and I will put in the title, so you don't send us anything. Be like, oh hey, you gave away this. We letting you know. But yeah, good acting, good action sequence, great story, and I am excited if they make it a season 2 of The Punisher. What do you think of The Punisher, Michael?
I thought Punisher was pretty good. I do think it was less Punisher than he was in Daredevil. But because of story, you can kind of understand that because technically everyone thought he was dead. And I like the whole transition from the episode one to like the end of the season. Like he started out, just being this weird like guy just hitting a wall with a hammer, and it ended with him like being in full on Punisher mode with the whole skull and everything. I like the whole transition there. The characters, they're pretty good. I do enjoy all of them. I'm probably going to get to my favorite one in a bit, which is also my favorite episode. I do have a whole bunch. Oh man, I have a lot of good things to say about this now. Like this, I want to get off my chest, but I know we're going to hit it later in the podcast. But just to sum things up in a nice little bow for you guys, I'm gonna give this a solid A as well because I really like this. Like before, I forgot the main character's name in real life, but I know him as Shane from Walking Dead. But now I know him as the Punisher. Like he's the new standard for his acting career for me now. Like, oh yeah, the guy from the Punisher, you know. Before he was the guy from Walking Dead, the asshole that Carl killed, but whatever. I'm over it now. He's the Punisher. He's on the bigger and better things. I'm okay with it.
Wait, Carl didn't kill Shane. I thought Rick killed Shane.
Well, Rick killed Shane, but then Carl killed Zombie Shane. So
Nigga, zombies are dead. Anyway, going back to the
they
show.
ain't dead. They ain't dead till they drop and stop moving. Okay, rule of
Isn't the
zombies,
show
man.
called The Walking Dead?
Yeah, until they stop walking, then they're actually dead.
That makes no sense. And why is it called The Walking Dead?
Oh
Anyway,
my
you don't
God,
make
this
no
is not the
sense.
Walking Dead
Anyway,
podcast, Shanique.
then Rick killed Shane. Anyway, going back to what I was
Carl killed
talking
Shane.
about. Nigga. Going back to what I was talking about. Favorite episode. I'm gonna give it to Home. No. Dangerous Close? I think it's Dangerous Close.
Danger close. Okay.
Danger? Are you sure?
hmm
Danger?
I just looked at the list. Remember?
Okay, yeah. Danger Close. So that was episode 10. That was when
That's
basically.
episode 11, actually.
No, it's not. Home is
I'm
episode
looking at it
11.
right now. I'm looking at it right now. Home is
Fine.
episode 12.
Fine. Fine. I forgot about the virtue of the vicious. Whatever. Fine. Episode 11, since Michael wants to be annoying. And And basically, if I remember right, this is the episode where shit basically goes down, where they capture Frank. Well, Frank gives himself up to save Sarah and the kids. And this is a violent fucking episode. But that's not why it's my favorite. I like that Frank kind of like had a chance to face the people who really hurt him, including his best friend. I like that Lieberman like looked out, was like worried about Frank. I was like, even though I'm a little bit over Lieberman dying, fake dying, like either kill him or stop doing that. But it was great action. It's not for the faint of heart. Actually, the last 3 episodes, if you're
Yeah, I'm
not
about to
really
say.
into violence, or you can't stomach violence, you need to stop like at episode 10.
I don't know. I feel like the whole series might need to stop because someone got beat
but
down.
They pulled away. Like after episode 10, they stopped pulling away from the violence. Cause like even in the first episode where he bashed that motherfucker's head in, you saw one hit and then they closed up on Frank and he was just hitting him. You didn't see him actually hit. You didn't actually see Frank's the thing, what is it? The sledgehammer connect with the guy's face. You never saw that. They kind of pulled away, but you saw the blood on Frank's face. You saw him punch the guy, but you didn't actually see him bash his head in with the sledgehammer. You didn't see that. And that was episode 2, not the first episode. But you did not see any of those things. See, I don't know why, but like when people get shot, that don't faze me anymore unless it's like some like the gun takes off the head type shit. So the shooting, there's a lot of shooting, but I mean, I feel like episode 11 to 13, they didn't shy away from showing anything. You saw every hit, and from both points of views. But anyway, like I was saying, the betrayal hits you hard, and you really see like where the season gonna end. Obviously, he's not gonna die, but you're like, how is he going to like be the Punisher and like get out of this and all this stuff? So yeah, episode 11 is my shit. What about you? What's your favorite episode?
It's funny you should say episode 11 was the favorite because episode 10 was my favorite. Because that's where like it wasn't as brutal. Because I think it was front facing enemy or face enemy something. God damn it, I don't know. Episode 10. It's the episode where pretty much Frank Castle gets exposed. It's the episode where Curtis tries to stop Lewis. There's just a lot happening in that episode. And there's 2 bromances that I really like in this show. I do like the relationship between Frank and Lieberman. I thought that like it started weird, but like it got like it's some small spots of like comedy in there where like they show that they're like, you know, just 2 roommates getting along. Like they both had like similar goals in mind and both had like sort of similar ways of getting to that goal. And I thought it was cool. Like this is kind of a weird romance that I never thought I'd like in a Punisher show. Especially that part where Lieberman was drunk and he was talking about how hung he was. I was like, wow, this is actually cool because Frank's laughing at the jokes. And like they're exchanging all these heart-to-hearts about how they met their wives and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, oh, this is actually. I never thought to this day I'm gonna watch a Punisher anything, movie, show, nothing, and think, wow, that was sweet at some point in the show. But to me, it was. Hell, I even liked how Frank was like the substitute dad for Lieberman's family for a little while. I thought that was cool. And the second bromance I really like, which is why this episode is my favorite, is the bromance between Kurt and Frank, because Lewis, I get it. Like this show kind of this show jumps into PTSD pretty strong with Lewis, and I like how Curtis tries to handle him, because he sees him as like the worst case scenario for someone who doesn't get like, you know, the right kind of like, you know, attention or something like that, which I thought was cool. And I like that Lewis put up a hell of a fight with one leg. I do believe him when he said, like, yo, back in my day, son, you know I'd snap him in 2. Because I believe him, man. Lewis can handle it. Sorry, not Lewis. Kurt can handle his business. I thought that was dope. Because, I don't know. I feel like Lewis's storyline started to really, really, really come to a head. Especially with this whole bombing thing going on as well. Because that story wasn't like the main focus of the Punisher. but it did kind of heighten things, like bring everybody together, like Maidani, Bill Russo, Frank. Everybody sort of figured out where everybody was, like, Poe Stein. I liked him, man. Yeah, and for some reason, I get the same feelings I got from Stranger Things season 2 when who was it? Bob? Was that his name? When
Yes, it
Bob
was
got
Bob.
killed. Yeah. And I was like, for some reason, my heartstrings got pulled. Stein got killed too. Because like, this dude right here is playing by the books, playing by the rules, and he's only like following, Mike Madani's lead, and all of a sudden he still gotta die because Bill's a dick. But whatever, we gonna get in Bill's ass in a bit. But yeah, that was my favorite episode.
Okay, cool. Favorite character? For me, it was Frank. I liked the other characters, but I thought Frank was the most well written, and I felt so bad for him. I always feel bad because they dogged him for no reason, And then he did shady shit though. Not gonna lie, he did shady shit, but I don't think there was a point. I don't know why they thought it was okay to kill the whole fam, because they could have just killed him, and his wife and kids didn't know shit. So I don't, whatever. I'm not gonna go there. But he was my favorite character. I felt he was the most well written. Oh, and then I also liked Curtis as well. He was good too. At first, I admit his story on Lewis. Since I don't give a shit about Lewis, I didn't care what happened to him. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I'm assuming he's just gonna be used as a plot device to what you say, bring bring all the characters into one spot, because he's gonna do some shit, and that's how Karen, Billy, Madani, and Frank were all in the same spot because of Lewis. But other than that, I don't give a damn about him. I'm not gonna lie. I started feeling bad for him, and honestly, I think his father should have institutionalized him, to be honest. That might be hard, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do for your kids. But that's just my thing. But yeah, Frank to me was the most well-written character. Maybe not the best acted, because he was still a good actor. But he wasn't doing any. My ears. Sorry, guys. If you guys hear a feedback, sorry about that. But yeah, overall, I think Frank was the best well written and acted, and overall the I guess the best reason to watch the show. I don't know the actor's name, but whoever he is, whoever played Punisher, he did a good job. What about you? Who are your favorite characters? Please keep it to 3.
I might have less than 3. I'm gonna keep it simple because I already talked about him a little bit, but I like Kurt the most. The easy answer for me would be Frank, but that's because I like him. I have a slight bias in my head because he's the Punisher and because he's Shane. So cool. And I liked him in the Devil season 2.
Why
Like
would
my hype for
Shane be a positive? Shane was a douchebag.
I do agree. He was a douchebag that I like to hate though. It's like that character in the show that you don't like him, but he's good at being an asshole. So he actually makes the show pretty good. He was a good sort of obstacle or. I mean, we're not gonna make this into a Walking Dead podcast, guys, but I don't know. That's if you've heard this podcast before, my brain has weird ways of connecting things to other things I like. But yeah, that's kind of what's coming from with that. He'd be the easy pick for me. I do like Kurt the most because he's probably one of the only characters other than maybe Stein just doing straight up good shit throughout the whole show. I'm not going to bring in Karen because Karen is doing all that stuff good too, but I'm talking about new characters here. But yeah, I think he was doing good. That's his whole purpose. We're soldiers. He's holding these meetings so that they can all feel better. He was kind of the point man, looking out for Lewis. He exposed that one guy, O'Connor, for being a fake soldier because he just looked into his file and he's kind of ruining Lewis's mind about all this Second Amendment and stuff. And I don't know about you, but I kind of do feel bad for Lewis. Because I don't know what PTSD is like, but if this is anything like it, because I've seen documentaries and TV shows about it and all that, And I think this showed the kind of a good job with him too. Cause I'm like, damn, yo, like he's literally what the deep end could look like. Yeah, and I kind of feel for that.
Yo.
However, his storyline, that's fair. I mean, that's fair. I'm like, I kind of figured that would be, but I figured, I like the fact that they didn't make him, theme for the whole series, because I feel bad about the way he went out. But it's that's part of the mental thing though, and I think he played his, as far as the writing goes, I think he played his part pretty well for the show. Just like a crazy guy who kind of has like these weird morals and ideals in his head because like he got wired through war to believe these things. And I was like, okay, cool. So I figured that's why he definitely helped me like what's named Kurt a lot more too, because Kurt was definitely trying to be big brother for him. So you know what? Yeah, favorite actor, favorite character, definitely Kurt. All around good guy. Got no complaints. He got beat with his own leg. Kinda sucks.
Yo, he got fucked up with his own leg.
Yeah, he put up a good fight for a guy with one leg, man. So I ain't even gonna slide him for that.
Did you see his face afterwards?
I know it was kind of inside out. I agree. He wasn't looking okay.
What he reminded me of? If you ever seen like Martin, the TV show, after Martin fight that boxer, that's what his face reminded me of. Less dramatic, obviously, but
a lot more bloody.
Yeah, and Martin's face was more swollen, but he looked fucked up. I thought he killed him at first when he was bashing his face in. I was like, oh man, they killed Kurt.
Yeah. I was hearing crunches. I was like, that sounded like Saul crunching. I don't know about this one, Kurt. You be there for the count.
Yeah, but then I was like, wait, it's a plastic leg. At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Unless he hit him with the boot, I don't think he could have killed him with that.
I feel like if you get hit hard enough times, then maybe you can probably die. But I feel like Kurt just a badass and he can handle that kind of stuff, yo.
I don't know. Maybe I feel like Madonna.
Hey, he survived the bomb. Granted, he lost a leg before. He survived the bomb. He could survive some crazy asshole kid.
I'm just saying, a bomb that's like hits the leg, which yes, agreed, survived that. But I think Lewis spared him only because he wasn't the real target. Because Lewis could have killed him. He had a gun and he had like other stuff. He could have dead ass killed him, but he chose to let him live. So did he survive or was he spared? Depends on who you ask. All right, so favorite scene. Okay, my favorite scene is in the finale. When you basically see the birth of Jigsaw, aka Billy Russo, becoming Jigsaw, and he takes Billy's face and like scrapes it on the mirror, because I'm like, Jigsaw has all these marks on his face, how is he gonna, and then he does that and I'm like, oh, that's how he fucks up his face. And I also thought it was kind of like irony at the same time, because it's like, this is a guy who's so concerned about his looks. And I think that's why Frank did that to him. And let him live, too. Which, in my mind, I'm like, no, this is plot device. Kill that motherfucker. Of all the times to not kill someone. This was not it, bruh. I mean, I knew he would survive, though, because, again, he's Jigsaw. And we haven't seen him as Jigsaw yet. But, I just wanted him to die so bad. He's just a piece of shit all the way around. Like, if I have to name my most hated character, number 1, Billy. Agent Orange is, like, rate number 2. And he got what he deserved, too. That's another good scene, but I almost had to look away. When he was, like, putting his thumbs in Agent Orange's eyes, I was like, oh, Lord.
Yeah. He didn't punch him hard enough way back in the day, so he was going to, like, fine, I'll just gouge the damn thing out.
Yeah, what the hell did Frank punch him with? That he like got his eyes looking like that? Did he have his eyes?
I watched that scene twice to make sure. I had the same question. It was literally just his fist. He didn't hit him with anything. Can you imagine getting punched so hard that your face scars and your eye goes blind?
Nah, nigga.
Like,
he had to hit him because it looked like he got a dent in his face with something.
Yeah, I know, but that was straight up knuckle. Damn. I made sure he was. If he hit him with a weapon, I mean, granted, he should still have gotten court-martialed for hitting with his hand, but if he hit him with a weapon, that'd have been game to get shot on the spot. So I don't know.
Yeah, but it was just so fucking weird. I was like, how he dent your face with just his bare fist?
Yeah,
I still don't understand. But yeah, favorite
you,
scene
you talking to a
definitely.
guy? You talking? Go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
I was gonna say you're talking about a guy who got shot. Like I lost Frank's bullet count for how many times he actually got shot in this series, but he got shot a lot. So I'm figuring he can probably throw a good punch. Heck, I think one of the times he was recovering, he was doing freaking pull-ups with like heavy chains and bricks like tied to him. And this was
Oh
maybe
yeah,
like
yeah,
only
yeah.
I'm assuming a few
After
days
Gunner
after he got
died.
shot.
Yeah, that was after Gunner.
Right, yeah, in the forest. And I was like, this dude is out here doing pull-ups. If I get shot like that, I plan on completely cooperating with death and sitting this out. I'm not planning on doing no pull-ups no time soon. Frank, you got this on me, man.
Yeah, but yeah, my favorite scene is when basically he turned Billy into Jigsaw and like fucked up his face. And the whole
Mm-hmm.
final like fight scene with them was good. After they dropped the guns. After they dropped the guns and
Yeah.
did that fight scene, I thought that was my top scene of the show. What about you? What's your favorite scene?
Oh, see, it's such an easy pick to say the final scene is a good one too, so I like tried to look somewhere else. Cause like there are so many freaking good ones. I do like when Frank got back the paint on his the skull paint back on his vest and all that kind of stuff. Started to let the Punisher. Like when the guys first came in to look for them in their little hideout with him and Lieberman, and like Frank started picking them all apart. I thought that was dope. Cause one of the guys got his head cut off. That was this. I think this was the episode where like things started getting pretty dark as far as the violence goes.
I don't know.
Cause it got pretty messy in there.
I wouldn't use dark.
I don't know.
I
Like
would
one
use
guy,
gory.
one guy,
Because they showed
gory,
his wife.
sure. Yeah, I mean,
They showed his wife getting shot right in front of him in the bed. Even though that's not where she died, I thought that was pretty fucked up.
yeah, and they ain't show like the whole thing. They didn't get into detail like you said earlier. But I think in this episode they started getting like a lot more detail. Like you saw the headshots. Like there's one guy got shot in the head with a shotgun. His whole face disappeared. One guy got his head cut off camera, but like it was still a head. And I was like, all right, this is clearly what they wanted the show to be for episode 1, but they had to like tone it down for the last like I don't know third or quarter of the series. I thought that was pretty cool. And which other one do I like? I like the entire like what's the name? Lewis's last episode where he was in with the whole hotel thing. I like that one too. It wasn't as action packed, but like because everything was like getting tied together, I liked it because of that. So there was also that for me as well. And I already mentioned this one, but also like the heart to heart between him and Kurt about how Kurt lost his leg and all that. I thought that was hella nice. That's all my scenes though.
Okay, yeah, of course. I want to talk about. We're not gonna go through each episode because they're starting to blend because I watched them so quick.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about when Agent Orange was like torturing Frank. I had to look away sometimes because that was a lot of blood. I was like, nigga, you should be dead. Only like the first couple punches, I was like, I don't give a shit. It was just weird. The only thing I don't like about that scene is like, why did we have to like mix it in with him having sex with his wife? I get it was supposed to be like happy memory versus dark memory, and then him choosing to live instead of die and be with her, yada yada. But it was so fucking weird. Maybe it's because how violent the torture was that I was like, bruh, no. I didn't like it. I didn't like the mixing of him having sex with his wife in a dream versus and him getting tortured. I don't know. I didn't like that mix. What do you think about that scene?
I thought that was kind of weird for me too, because I was like, I get it. A lot of shows try to mix like violence and sex because both sell when you put them together, like the best ingredients for a burger and all that kind of stuff. But I thought I'd use a sweeter moment if it was up to me. Like it didn't like take me out of the show or nothing, but it's enough to notice it and talk about it. I thought that was a little extra. I did the torture scene. I get it. I had to look away because Frank was taking some beatings, I remember him getting beaten down pretty hard in Daredevil season 2 as well. But this was pretty up there as well. I don't know. This was like, at the end of the day, you still gonna be killing people, aren't you, Frank? Like, I don't know how you get beat so hard and still go back to doing the Punisher stuff, but like, yeah, I thought that was an interesting scene for me to watch. The sex scene, like, it was a little like, out there, but
Yeah,
that's what it
I
is.
get the symbolism, like his happy place versus his dark, which is fine, but at the same time, fucking weird. Also, what was the gloves for? Is just so he wouldn't have blood on his arms for Agent Orange? Was that
I
so
would
he wouldn't
assume
have?
so.
Okay, because they don't protect his
Here's my
hands.
right, yeah, because I know earlier in the season, like they kept saying that Agent Orange is more like an intimidator than a person who gets his hand dirty. Say it's kind of like Lieberman. So like he talking about this one time where it's like I think Billy was talking to him. He says you'll always intimidate them until like they know they're gonna die, and then like they'll get you off. They'll get you extra hard and all that kind of stuff. But like you'll never actually do something yourself unless you're in complete control, unless someone cannot fight back. And in my head, I thought he was wearing the gloves because like he's just not used to actually doing the dirty work. Hell, Frank can be butt naked and still, cut somebody's head off or shoot their face off or something like that.
Hmm.
But I don't know. The addition of the gloves was a little out there as well. I don't know, but it didn't. It
I mean,
wasn't really a bother to me. I noticed it.
in the flashback he wore gloves too, cause he was in
I know.
that
I'm
room
talking
with
about in
the
the context.
cop.
Yeah, you're right. I'm talking about in the context of him and Frank though at this scene
Well, I think
because
that's his
I
signature
just
though.
always figured he didn't. I mean, maybe. I mean, he only did it like a handful of times. I can't really call it the signature until I see some more. But maybe. Who knows? Maybe I'm missing
Yeah,
something there,
only
but it's
because
whatever.
Frank said, "Oh, you bringing out the gloves? Are these the same gloves that you
Hmm.
always used before?" So that's his thing. He always wore gloves when he's doing shit like that. I don't think. I think he's the type of guy to like fuck him up and then let someone else kill him. Cause then he could say, "Oh, I didn't kill him though." I think that's what he's like.
Hmm.
That's what Billy was to him. And
Hmm.
I was like, he definitely. The only thing Agent Orange was stupid because here's what got him fucked up. He pissed off the one guy that was holding the other guy back from killing him.
Hmm.
And I was
True.
like, dude, you gotta wait till Frank is dead. Okay? Because I knew, like, Billy wasn't gonna kill him right then and there. He would probably set up Frank to do it, which is exactly what he did. At first, I thought he was gonna give Frank the gun, because the way he held the gun, I thought he was gonna do, like, some, like, shit like that, because he cut Frank's, the wrist ties that Frank had on. But
Yeah.
instead, he's like, nope, Frank, kill him with your bare hands. And
True story.
oh yeah, he killed him with his bare hands. I was like, ooh, Lord.
Had to take it personal, man.
Yep. I liked him with the beard though, but I'm glad I don't like his haircut. Like I would have liked him. I don't mind him shaving the beard, but that haircut though, I've never liked that haircut in real life. Where it's like,
See?
it looks weird on white men. Like I don't know what it is. I don't like it on white men. It looks weird to me. It's just like, no. Certain haircuts I don't think work on certain type of like hair textures. And I think usually white guys have like a certain like hair texture that I don't think a fade works for. Never been a fan of that. But we're going on a tangent. So another scene I like, we can talk. I like Madani as well. She's very determined. I was surprised she was alive at the end though. Ain't gonna lie about it. I was like, oh, that bitch is dead. I really thought she was dead. Me and Frank had the same reaction. Like, you got shot in the head. Are you still alive? You a tough son of a bitch. Earn my respect. What do you think of Madani? Still surprised she alive though.
I kind of figured she took a beating early on too when Lieberman ran into her Mustang. Poor Mustang. That Mustang was fresh, man. When Lieberman ran into that Mustang and she was still alive. Granted, Frank saved her, but you did get T-boned by a truck in a much smaller car. So I thought like she could probably handle it. Frank got shot in the head too. I always kind of figured she was tough. Cause like she's out there holding guns and throwing down as well, and she's not necessarily like a as tough as much not as tough, not as much as a field agent as most of the guys were from the whole Kandahar thing. excluding Rollins because he's kind of a little punk. But she held it down though for a little bit, and I've kind of figured of everyone to kill, I feel like that would have kind of hurt the show for me because I did not want her to die. Don't get me wrong, I really cringed every time I saw her and Billy together. Cause I'm just like, why? When you find out, you're gonna be so mad.
Like another thing about that, at first she reached out to Billy, so I'm like, oh, she's playing him, and then I saw she started to like him. I was like, oh, you made the wrong turn.
Right.
You were here,
right.
Then you took a left, and I was like, I guess the dick is bomb. I don't know. But she probably feels dirty now. She probably feels dirty now.
Yeah, that's the guy who killed your freaking partner, man. You got to live with knowing he was inside of you. I don't like that at all.
Why you say it like that?
Cause that's listen, man. That's some dark stuff to have follow you around when you find out, yo. I don't know. I got. What?
That movie with Samuel Jackson.
Oh God, no, that's not even.
Yeah,
we can't even do that here.
The Samaritan. It's on Netflix, guys. You should check that out. This is all I'm going to say.
Prepare for one of the biggest plot twists in movie history. And you might not even ever heard of that movie.
It's not a fake out. That's the worst part. It's not a fake out.
Yeah.
I was rooting for them. I was rooting.
We're not even going to spoil it because the twist is that good. I'm a sucker for a good twist, man.
Yeah, we both were like, what the fuck?
I refused to believe for like half an hour until the guy confirmed it, and I was like, well, that's real. I'd throw up too. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it for you.
No,
I don't want to spoil it for you.
But yeah,
Madani was cool. I think she was a good partner to Stein, even though she's kind of she's kind of full of herself in the beginning, but she actually cared. Her mom's actually kind of cool too, but that's what it is. Madani, you are right.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Madani was cool. Rest in peace, Stein. Or Sam. Because he liked being called Sam more than Stein.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Who else? Karen. Okay. Before we get into, let's go to Castle and his women, apparently. Because I am so confused with Karen. Because does she like Castle or does she like Matt? Or both? Because at one point I was like, is she feeling Castle like in a romantic way? It's so weird. Even Lieberman referred to Karen as Castle's like girlfriend. And then he kisses Sarah. Which, I can't even say Lieberman should do something because Castle would kill him. He just had to eat that. He just had to eat that. There was no other way around it. And it's not like Lieberman could be mad because at the end of the day, at least that's Sarah, because she thought he was dead. That was weird. I was like, they could have been OD and he could have smashed. And I was like, and there'd be nothing that Lieberman could do. That's the worst part.
Yeah, you could kill him in sleep. Shit, you out of your damn mind.
No, nigga, let's be real.
He already
Frank
when they first met, huh? Yeah, he do.
No, Frank does not fully
Lieberman put him to sleep. Lieberman put him to sleep at one point. Remember that he stuck him with the needle at the one point. So
yeah, but
the way I see it,
but he can't kill him in his sleep. Like Frank does not
he got a gun.
Lieberman's a pussy. Okay, when it comes to guns, he's a pussy. Do you see how he holds the gun? No, he would have had to eat that.
Nah, if someone did that, if someone did that to his wife, he'd do it.
He talked a lot of shit though, but he's not there. He
couldn't even really blame her. I mean, he took it hard, but not as hard as he could have, because it happened because she was drunk, so she wasn't in the right state of mind. Which I get, but not really. I ain't really gonna forgive that because I kind of had to, but she thinks she's dead anyway. I know. She thinks she's dead anyway. I'm talking about in between Lieberman and Frank. Really, like Frank. He could have pulled away a little faster. I'm glad he did pull away, but he took his time doing it though.
No, Sarah pulled away though, or was it Frank? Was it Frank?
No. Frank pulled away. She was drunk. She wanted some more.
I feel like I'm saying that Lieberman would have had to eat that because he needed Frank.
He did eat it, and he did eat it. He wouldn't have ate it if he went all the way.
I think he would have because the show's called Punisher. Anyway, he would have ate that. But they wouldn't have went
We're
that far
not
because they wanted
commenting
them to
on
have a
that.
friend. Like, no, you're thinking as a term if Michael was Lieberman. Lieberman is a
No,
pussy.
no. I'm talking about in terms of any man. Period, yo. Like, grant, no
But
matter
he's a
what
pussy
agreement you
though.
have,
He's
no,
not
listen,
capable of taking Frank
you will grow. That's
without
something that will make
drugging
you
him.
grow balls. It will make you grow balls, okay? You will at least try. You will probably die trying with Frank, yeah, but you will at least try.
I mean, yeah, okay.
That
Here's
would
the
not
thing.
go
He's
down.
gonna eat it either way. Because either he's gonna just get drunk like he did with the kiss, or he gonna try to go after Frank and Frank gonna have to kill him. Or fuck him up real bad. I don't think Frank would kill him. He would just fuck him up real bad.
I think we're on two different pages with that one, but that's fine though.
You have more faith in Lieberman. I believe that Frank would just fuck him up really bad. I don't think he has a chance against Frank.
I don't think so either. I'm not saying he has a chance of doing it, but I'm saying, like, if he had the opportunity like he did earlier in the show where, like, he just stuck him with a needle and all of a sudden he's paralyzed in a couple of seconds, he'd be in trouble. He probably wouldn't really kill him, but, like, I feel like
He would have to.
hold up, yo. One of the moments that make you grow balls real quick. If you see somebody do that to your wife, you will probably do so. I don't care how much of a pussy you're being, you will do that.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying, like, he would have to kill Frank. Because once Frank came out of it, he would fuck him up.
Oh yeah,
And he would not be able to
probably,
swim. So, like,
probably.
that's what I'm saying. He probably will eat that. Eat that or
Nah.
get your ass beat to ensure your life. Or killed because you're stupid enough to try to do something. Do you want to see your wife still? Probably. Because you can't be mad at your wife because you told her you were dead. Well, you didn't tell her. You allow her to think you were dead after she saw you shot. Because the kids weren't there, right? The kids weren't there. Were they?
Well,
They were in the car, but they weren't there
um,
when he got, like, shot the first time.
nah, I
Before
don't think so.
Yeah, it was only her. So Sarah saw that. And Sarah was too lenient. Because I would have been like,
So she left him in
nigga.
the car. I just realized that she left him in the car in the middle of traffic.
Yeah.
She ignorant.
Either way, Sarah was too lenient. I wouldn't have took my husband back that easy. I don't give a shit. I'm like, you let me think you were dead for a year, nigga. I'm gonna need time.
He was keeping him safe. You watch the show.
Doesn't matter. Like, I understand he was keeping him safe, but I'm still gonna need time because you told me a big ass lie. And you did something I literally said don't do, and you said, oh, well, I'm not gonna do it. And then you did it anyway and put us in danger in the first place. We wouldn't have been in danger if you listened to me in the first place. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't have been like so lenient. I would eventually forgive him, but he would have had to earn my trust again because that's a big lie. That's not like, oh, I forgot like our anniversary. That's like you left me alone to raise 2 kids because you did some shit I literally said do not do and think of our family. But I get why he did it. He was being a patriot. But I'm gonna need a pause for like maybe 10 seconds. And then what else? I did like the whole Frank, Sarah, Lieberman plot. I didn't mind it. But I am glad they didn't go the route of like Frank, like, screwing his wife. I thought the kiss was unnecessary. I'm glad they didn't do it, but I guess oddly it brought Lieberman and Frank closer together in a weird way.
For me, it's like weird because I kind of saw it coming. Like I knew like at some point like she was gonna appreciate having a guy around, doing all this like macho stuff around the house and getting along with one of the kids, even though he put a knife to one of the other one's neck. But that just
He's being a little shit.
scare him. I mean, he was. I agree. Zach was acting up, but like I said, I saw it coming because like he was getting close to the family. He almost had dinner if he wasn't had dinner with them if he wasn't like busy getting shot at with Gunner, Pope Gunner. But yeah, I was living in the mountain for years, and all of a sudden Frank is back and I'm dead. Like, yo, this day just sucks from 0 to 100.
Well,
but it's whatever though.
I think Gunner would have died. Gunner died because of Madani. Because the guy was spying on Madani, and Madani was looking into it.
That's true. She was bugged.
Yeah, and she cost Gunner his life. But that wasn't a real life to live. Like, I feel like he He's living in a little shack in the middle of nowhere.
He was okay with that, okay?
I don't know. Would you really be okay in living in a constant state of paranoia?
I mean, if I'm paranoid, I probably won't know I'm paranoid. I probably just think I'm being safe. Like at that point, I've convinced myself like this is what I need to do. Not, I'm just worrying too much.
Yeah, but
No
wouldn't
one
you
who's
want to
paranoid
like
knows they're
not worry
paranoid.
about that? Well, like I don't know.
I
I
mean, true.
don't.
Yeah, you're right. Like I can say that right now until I actually am, and I think it's different. It's
No,
just
even if I get in that situation, I'm not gonna want to live for years worrying about someone gonna kill me while I'm asleep or come find me and torture me. Like I'm not gonna be a fan of that at all.
Mhm.
I mean,
Mhm.
I'm gonna do everything to survive, but I'm not about that life. At the end of the day, that's not a life to live. I wouldn't have stayed in the United States. I'm gonna be really honest. I
Word.
would have got the hell up out of there.
Get me some new passports or something.
Yeah. But anyway, let's see. What else? What else? What else?
Predictions, maybe.
Yeah. Let's go into predictions for season 2. Here's the thing. Obviously, I think here's how I want season 2 to go, and here's how I think season 2 is gonna go. I want Billy to recover at the end of the season, so he could be the villain for season 3. I want someone new to force Frank to be the Punisher again, not Billy. Someone new. And then I want him to face Billy again in season 3. That's how I want it to go. What I think's gonna happen is that way. Halfway through season 2, Billy's gonna come back. Fuck up shit. I think they're gonna introduce a new villain. Or they're gonna do Billy first, and then they introduce a new villain at the end. That's what I think's gonna happen. I think Lieberman will probably work for Homeland. Or if he's smart, never work for the government again.
Word.
Either or. But I think Lieberman is probably gonna be working for the government and probably low key helping Frank. And I don't really think we're gonna see Karen as much. But
You might.
we might. Yeah, who knows?
I think for like almost all of the Marvel TV shows, she technically can have some spot in there because it's in New York. So long as it's in New York for a Marvel TV show, you can throw Karen in there somewhere. Heck, you can even throw the black cop in there again, Maloney or Mahoney, whatever his name was. I forgot like in season 2 of Daredevil, he wasn't in his detective position. He got promoted at the end, which I almost forgot about until I was watching the show. Like, wasn't this the guy who was kind of like a nobody cop? But he was kind of working with Daredevil and the crew. But yeah, I guess a cameo from Karen wouldn't be all that bad. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, and I look up Lieberman, and he's supposed to be the character Microchip, so he'll probably be around too. So yeah, I think that's probably right. Like he's probably gonna low key help the Punisher do his shit. What about you? What's your prediction for season 2?
It's kind of hard for me to make any because I don't really know the Punisher's stories too in depth. Like
What
I
do
don't. To be,
you like
I'm
based
gonna be
off the
real. I don't know
show?
them. Oh, based off the show, I don't like. See, I don't know. I think like everything got wrapped up pretty good. Like only obviously one is to see, Billy come back and to come do some stuff. Maybe he transforms into something else, like some other kind of character. I tried spinning some other characters to like be some kind of like obstacle, but I think it honestly might just be some more Punisher versus government type thing, unless some new gang comes into place. Because I'm used to the Punisher killing off gangs. So unless like some new gang comes into place, because I know Kingpin is still a thing. Maybe they might bring him back. Let's see here. Or maybe, who knows, my ideal perfect world version, even though it's probably not going to happen, another Marvel Universe crossover. Maybe like throw one of the other Marvel guys in there. I know he worked great with Daredevil, but I feel like in my heart of hearts, I know he only probably works with Daredevil. I don't see him working well with anybody else as far as story goes. But who knows? Maybe they can surprise me.
Yeah, I think Frank would probably want to kill like Iron Fist. He probably want to kill him.
Probably. Oh yeah. See, I don't see them two working together. That's just so weird. Like you got the Mystic Monk Man versus not versus, but working alongside the guy who apparently apparently has only 37 kills. I was like, I literally laughed out loud when I saw the on the TV show when they said Frank is back. He's known for killing 37 people. I'm like, y'all did not watch the same thing I'm watching, because this man killed way more than 37 people back in season 2 of Daredevil, and probably way more than 37 people in his own show.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah,
they
I
know.
think in
It's what
first.
they know. They
Yeah,
don't know the whole
I know you're
story.
right. I know you're right, but it's like, just to me, it's funny because like they don't know. Like me watching it, and like know that they don't know, is hilarious because the irony is all there. Because I'm like, this man is really in triple digits by now, yo. Y'all missing out. So yeah, I thought Daredevil. I thought Punisher was cool, man. I thought it was. It's funny what you said before, 'cause I just thought you were gonna say that it was a slow show. Because I kind of felt that way in the beginning. It was very less Punishery and more universe building until like the last like half, where like things started really getting to a head. But
Yeah. But I like that though, because I think you need to
I
write the
was,
show in a way that someone who's never heard of the Punisher can enjoy
yeah, I
it.
agree. Right, I agree. And I feel like they did so much building around it too that it worked out well. Like they did the whole Kandahar thing. They did My Downey's character. Like everything kind of started off separate and then like came together. Heck, even the whole Lewis thing. I was like, you took like four different elements, four maybe even more than that elements, and like just drew them together all gradually and slowly, and you left a decent amount of suspense in there. And I was like, okay, cool. It's not bad for a Punisher show. It's not just all straight up guns. Like heck, there was times when Punisher was being stealthy. That was brand new information to me. Unless he was like sniping from afar, but like this time he's actually like sneaking into places, not purposefully not killing on the army base when he's like trying to get that weird guy, that weird general who was like licking wine off the
Yeah.
floor or something like that.
What the fuck? Anyway, that guy was so weird. But he's one of
Yeah,
those, I guess she was like a dominatrix type chick.
yeah. I'd assume anyway. Um,
Okay. Well, I guess that was your closing remark. I'm gonna give mine. Um, I'd say watch it. It's a perfect blend of like acting, action, and good story. And for me, it's the second best Marvel show. And then Jessica Jones. So it's like Daredevil, Punisher, and then Jessica Jones. Out of the superhero base, obviously, not in like in general. And
I'd
so,
agree.
yeah. So I say give it a try, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. If you're not into like very extreme violence, maybe this is not the show for you. Just or just don't watch the end. I don't know. But
Yeah,
other than that, I think it's really good. It's a really good show. Good job, Marvel. Good job. And Netflix. Even though I don't know how long these shows are gonna stay on Netflix because Disney is leaving. But that's a whole nother topic. Um, so I guess I'm gonna close out the podcast. So guys, let us know what you guys think of The Punisher season 1. Was it good? Were we right? Do you agree with us? Or do you think we're overhyping it? We want to know your opinions. You could tweet us at Echo U Podcast on Twitter. You can find us on probably any site at Echo Underground Podcast, and including iTunes, Facebook, and YouTube, as well as SoundCloud and all other podcasting apps. And we'll see you guys on next episode. Bye.
see ya.